I'm Rachel Belle, and this is Your Last Meal, the show where celebrities share stories about the foods they love most, and we dig into the history, culture, or science of those meals with experts from around the world. But today, we are doing something different. I am sharing part of a live Seattle Eats podcast taping with host Vinh, Kenji Lopez-Alt, and me at Town Hall in Seattle. Vinh is an award-winning food and drink writer for the Seattle Times. Kenji Lopez-Alt is a New York Times best-selling cookbook author and chef. And Seattle Eats is a production of Seattle Times and KUOW, part of the NPR network. As you know, I am usually the one asking the questions, so it was so much fun to get to answer questions. Ton asked us a lot about Thanksgiving. And then we got to weigh in on our Seattle favorites. Best pizza, best bagel, where do we like to go on a first date? And I got to express my love for 1980s salad bars. This was so much fun. It was also a sold-out event. So if you weren't able to be there in person, I hope you enjoy our conversation with me, Vinh, and Kenji Lopez-Alt.
So I'm curious, how do you turkey? Yes, I'm using it as a verb. Sue me. How do you turkey? Rachel Belle.
My favorite way to make a turkey is ham. I'm a little Jewish girl who loves ham. Turkey's fine, but I think most people agree that it's about the sides, right? Like, I don't dislike turkey, but I don't get excited about it. And I haven't made a turkey for a very long time because I go to someone else's house usually. So I honestly don't have a method. But last year and maybe the year before where we celebrated, they did get like a nice big spiral cut ham. And that was good. And it's really good for leftovers in your little sandwich too.
They are much better than turkey, than dry breast meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breast meat doesn't have to be dry.
Kenji, how are you turkey?
Generally, I my advice since 2008 has been spatchcock your turkey, right? Or get your butcher to spatchcock it for you. But this year, I was ordering turkeys from Beast and Cleaver in Ballard. And one of the butchers there was like, "You're not going to tell people to spatchcock this year, are you?"
Why?
Because when I tell people to spatchcock turkeys, that means that the butchers there have to spatchcock hundreds of turkeys. And he's like, "Whatever you do, don't tell people that they should do it boneless." And so this year I'm doing a recipe for a whole turkey. It's a variation of a recipe I did years ago at Serious Eats, but the idea is that you preheat like a baking steel or a baking stone. Because the problem with roasting whole turkey and the reason why you spatchcock is that it's really difficult to get the leg meat to cook without drying out the breast. But if you preheat a baking steel or a baking stone in a very hot oven and then roast your turkey on a sheet tray instead of in a roasting rack, the heat from that baking stone will get the legs to cook really fast so that you can get the legs to get done and you get the bottom of the turkey crispy as well before the breast meat has a chance to dry out. The other thing is to brine it or dry brine it because that'll help keep it all juicy.
May I introduce another way of doing it? I just found this out. I'm so excited. I am so excited. So the chef is Tachi Kudamura, sushi chef here in East Lake.
He's great.
Yeah, one of the best restaurants here in Seattle. He told me he can cook a turkey in 30 minutes. And I was like, no way. Do you nuke it? How do you cook a turkey in 30 minutes?
Well, he's a sushi chef. He probably just carves it raw.
I know, just sashimi turkey. And I had to go to his house and see to believe it, and it cooked in 27 minutes.
What?
Wow.
And how he does it is, and butchers are going to hate this once they see this recipe comes out, he breaks down the turkey, and once he breaks down the turkey, he debones it. Once you debone a turkey, it cooks like in 30 minutes for a 10, 12 pound.
That honestly sounds like cheating.
Yeah, so how long does it take him to prep before he cooks it for 27 minutes?
No, well, if you get a turkey, you have a butcher, they can like break it down and debone it for you. Granted, he's a sushi chef. It took him less than 15 minutes to break it down and debone it. But the key is a sharp knife. I did learn that from him. And I gotta tell you, the end result, it's freaking delicious.
A sharp knife and like 27 years of experience.
That helps, but it is delicious. And it's teriyaki turkey. He does teriyaki turkey. Show me your shirt, Kenji. Show me your shirt. For those who can't see it, it says, "I love teriyaki."
I'm not joking. When you showed me your shirt and I saw the Mariners symbol, I thought it was a player, because I don't know baseball, named Teriyaki, and I'm not kidding. It took me a minute. I was like, I know the dumper guy and Teriyaki.
But so then Tashi was telling me, it's like, why even mess with this? Why don't you do something else, like a ham?
Like a ham. Yeah.
So I kicked it to you, Kenji. If you can't do turkey, what would be your alternative?
I mean, we're in Seattle, and my kids love salmon, so like roasting a whole salmon is easy and I think very fitting for like a holiday spread and fitting for the environment. But a ham is also great, but a whole salmon or a hammin, if you can.
Oh, so like a turducken, but a ham. But a
salmon just shoved down the center of a ham.
I always wanted to be in the family where people did Dungeness crab.
Oh yeah,
that sounds good. Also, I feel like when it comes to vegetarians, a lot of the things that turn into mains, like a squash stuffed with wild rice, that just ends up feeling like a side to me. So I think you should just go hard on the sides and just do more. Because what's always missing is something crunchy. Because we have the cranberry sauce that's like the only kind of acidic tart thing amongst this beige buffet and like all of the mushy food. So I think adding a salad, but something with persimmons, the crunchy ones, or pear, and having like the really beautiful pink, like radicchio that's happening in the fall. Like, I think adding something like that with like a lemony vinaigrette. Sorry, more vegetables. I like more vegetables.
I can see.
I know you don't like vegetables.
How does gravy go with radicchio?
So good.
You know what else is popular around here as far as Thanksgiving? Peking duck in the Chinese community. And people don't know this, but in Chinatown, you see those hanging meats on the hook, those barbecue shops. Every year around Thanksgiving, they pivot to like a turkey shop. So you can buy a whole roast turkey in Chinatown. Oh. And they do it differently. It'll have that 5-spice flavor, sort of like sugary sweet. And the way they brine it is usually from the cavity. They don't brine it from the outside. They brine it from the inside, and they leave the skin. They think that's the best way to do Thanksgiving. So if you're looking for ideas or a different flavor profile, Chinatown.
Takes less than half an hour.
Yeah. I'll add one more option. I dated an Egyptian American, and his parents were from Egypt. And when he was a kid, they didn't celebrate Thanksgiving. But then his mom hated that he would leave the house and go to other people's families. So they started doing it. So when I went to their house for Thanksgiving, you can get a whole Thanksgiving dinner from KFC. It was a Cajun turkey from Kentucky Fried Chicken. And then we watched Celine Dion in Las Vegas afterwards. It was a really, it was a real American Thanksgiving.
All right, you brought up sides.
Yeah.
Rachel, so what are your sides for your ham turkey?
Why does my ham have to be in quotes? It's a real... I like all of the classics. I don't eat mashed potatoes that often, so that's the thing I think I look forward to the most, and like using, heavy cream and a lot of butter and making them very creamy, because growing up in the 80s, my mom used non-fat everything. I grew up with these mashed potatoes with non-fat milk and margarine, and I thought I didn't like so many foods. And then when I went to college, I went to the grocery store and I was like, real butter. I will never buy margarine again. Country crock. So yeah, really good creamy mashed potatoes. I love stuffing. And I actually like a little bit of a trashy roll from the like from Safeway, those ones you can squish into a ball.
Oh, I like the ones in a can that you hit with a spoon, that.
Oh yeah, the crescent roll.
Yeah, like the Poppin' Fresh,
Yeah.
Kenji?
Stuffing.
Your sides.
Yeah, stuffing.
So what's some of the sides that you have this year?
Stuffing. Yeah.
And stuffing?
I mean, no, Thanksgiving for me really is mostly about the stuffing.
What's your favorite stuffing?
Mine.
You must have like 30.
No, I like a really classic stuff. I mean, we grew up eating stovetop. Do you remember there's old stovetop commercials, and they say,
"What time are you having stovetop?"
Yeah, what time are you having stovetop? Can I have dinner at Billy's house? Yes. But no, we grew up eating stovetop during the year, and then on Thanksgiving it was real stuffing. But no, yeah, I make like a pretty classic stuffing with onions and celery and and sage sausage and it's to me it's like a savory bread pudding. And then my sister usually makes her own stuffing because she makes it completely wrong.
What does she do?
She adds like apples and mushrooms and uses sourdough bread and not enough liquid.
I like your sister.
She loves it, but yeah. No, for me it's stuffing. We always do roasted Brussels sprouts. It's my dad's favorite vegetable. And then my kids love sweet potatoes, and so we do a mashed sweet potato. So like really slow roast sweet potatoes, and then mash them with brown butter and maple syrup and thyme.
I can't believe it. None of you mentioned the obvious.
Well,
green bean casserole.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a poll right here. How many will have green bean casserole for Thanksgiving
We'll
this
have
year?
it too, yeah.
Oh, not that many.
I know.
Surprised.
I'm shocked. Can I tell you, okay, green bean casserole is the apex predator in the Thanksgiving ecosystem. Nothing can top it. All right? Like
I think French's fried onions could top it.
I would say in the Mount Rushmore of things that you should not mess with, number 1 is Spam. Number 2 is, I would say, Thomas English muffin.
Yeah.
But number 3, along the same family, kind of, sort of, is a green bean casserole. You got the mushroom, can of mushroom cream. You got the green beans out of the can. You got the fried onions.
Yeah, everything's in a can. Yeah.
Yes, you get it?
Yeah.
I freaking love it.
I love this story of its invention. Do you guys know the name of the woman who invented green bean casserole? She has the best name. Her name is Dorcas Riley. And she invented this in the Campbell's Test Kitchen in the 1950s because back in the day, they would do all this like marketing and advertising and they would send out these little packets in the mail. And so she was tasked with inventing something because Campbell's wanted to start using their soups for sauces. And so she had to come up with a recipe where it would be used for a sauce. So she invented it. And so I love her story. But growing up, so my dad is an immigrant, and then my mom grew up poor with a single mom who worked, and so she ate a lot of canned vegetables. So when I was born, my mom vowed to never, ever serve her kids a mushy canned vegetable. So I came out and my parents wanted to give me like fresh food that made a snap when you bit it. And I was like, I want to be a little Midwestern baby. We lived in California, but I wanted green bean casserole and they wouldn't give it to me.
Oh, blasphemy. Can I tell you this? I should back up here. The reason why I love green bean casserole so much is because it was my first experience in the United States. I'm a refugee, and there was a Lutheran family who sponsored me, and they made this casserole. And I was like, wait, what's going on here? There's nothing fresh here. He opens a can, and I see barf coming out. It's a mushroom cream.
I'm telling Dorcas you said that.
And then she opened another can, and there's like beans coming out. And I was like, whoa, I'd never seen beans out of a can before. I was like, do it again. It was like a magic trick. It was like pulling a rabbit out of a hat for me. I said, do it again. And it was like, make it rain green beans. I just loved it so much. I was so fascinated. And looking back, I realized, and this is, I think, old boss Sam Sifton and Ed Levine, what he said was, the food from our childhood, especially like pizza, that's what we remember the most because it's not just the taste. And a lot of times it has nothing to do with the taste, but it's just the memory and so the backstory of it.
For you growing up an immigrant and with immigrant parents, did you celebrate Thanksgiving at home?
We did not. Not my parents. It was like other people who invited us for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Which, actually, I'm very curious. Who here does not like green bean casserole? Oh, quite a bit. Man, keep your hands up. Security, move these people. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you two are accomplished cooks. How would you hack this? Or how would you make it better?
I made it from scratch once. I used fresh green beans, and then I made, a bechamel kind of creamy sauce with
a lot of free time in your hands.
Well, I mean, you don't think you get the day off usually. Actually, I didn't always being a news reporter, but then you would, make like the crispy fried shallots. So I did that, and it's a different dish. The thing that I made was very good, but it wasn't mushy enough, and it wasn't filled with, lots of salt, and it didn't have like the MSG that you crave like in the back of your molars. So it was very good. But I think Thanksgiving personally, I'd be interested to know, people in the crowd, what you think. I feel like all year I'm trying new recipes and I'm always being creative. And so on Thanksgiving and on Hanukkah and on different holidays, I want the traditional food because you only get it once a year. So if you grew up and you have these memories associated with green bean casserole, you should have that. Like, you don't need the gussied up one. I didn't grow up with it. So for me, it didn't really matter, but you should have what you want.
Thank you. But as you saw in the crowd, a lot of people hate it. Shame on you. So Kenji, help them out. How would you hack it to make it better?
There's a recipe in my first book. It's also free on Serious Eats. I have an old recipe for a homemade green bean casserole that uses fresh green beans and fresh mushrooms. It's a ton of work. I can't say that it's better than the original. The one way that is just as simple that I think would improve the original is instead of using the French's fried onions on top, you go to like Asian Family Mart. You go somewhere and you get fried shallots.
Yes.
And I think those are going to be better than the French's fried onions. But again, if you're used to growing up, it's like nothing's going to replace Heinz's ketchup, right? It's like house-made ketchups are just never the same. You get to this like uncanny valley where it's close enough to being green bean casserole, but it's not quite there. So this is not right. It really depends on how you grew up, I'd say.
Let's move on to another big topic in the food world right now: price of groceries. It's not very affordable for a lot of people. And you have the federal government shut down. And there are about 42 million people who are on food stamps who are struggling to put food on the table. So I put you guys to the task here, since you were so good with this green bean casserole. I'm going to give you a price point of, say, I don't know, $10 per person, average out. What would you make in terms of a meal, cook with a meal?
For me, it's less about thinking about the price of an individual meal and more about being frugal about how you use your leftovers and how you repurpose and make sure that you don't waste. Because a lot, there's a ton of food waste, and a lot of it happens at home. And so, if you buy bigger things and you buy like a pork shoulder, right? And that's like a significant chunk of money, but you braise that pork shoulder and then you can use it in 5 different ways, or you can freeze it and use it down the line. And that cuts the cost of an individual meal down a lot, because, I find one of the problems with recipes is that you get this list of ingredients, right? And so then you go and you're like, okay, I might have a couple of these in my pantry, but then you have to go and buy all these other things at the supermarket. And then you don't know what to do with what's left over in those. So that's why I find that, learning how to cook and how to think about ingredients and how they can go together, and really learning techniques as opposed to just recipes that call for a specified amount of stuff is really important. And maybe that's something that, like back in the day, like home ec classes would teach that. And they would teach you how to use leftovers. And I think a lot of cookbooks used to focus on that as well. Whereas these days it's less. It's more about getting some specialty ingredient. Then you're like, what do I do with this thing? Or like, what do I do with these this half bunch of parsley that I have? So I think really it's not a question of what would I cook for an individual meal, but it's more how do I think about my week or my month.
I'll be a teacher's pet and answer your question directly. What I would make. The first thing that I thought of was Japanese sweet potatoes. I love them. They're less sweet than like a classic orange sweet potato. And I lived in Japan for a year of 15 years ago. And in the town I lived in, this truck would come through the neighborhood sometimes. And it was in Japanese, but the translation, it was this recording, and you would hear, sweet potatoes. And it was like the ice cream man. People would run out because he was coal roasting these Japanese sweet potatoes in the back of the truck. And he would pull one out and you would eat it plain. And it was so good. It honestly didn't need salt or butter or anything. And you would break it open and the steam would come out. And they're just so creamy and luscious. They're so good. So I've been so happy that you can find them now, like at Trader Joe's even. There's so many things you can do, like get a real big one or like a few small ones. There's one recipe I love. One of my favorite cookbooks is called Eating Out Loud by Eden Grinchman. She's the host of Top Chef Canada. And she has this recipe where I actually like to steam them. I feel like they get very silky. And then it's like a gremolata with basil and garlic and olive oil and sunflower seeds. And then you make a lemony sour cream and you put those two things on. But I will mash like butter and miso together and then like saute vegetables and put that on top. I'll make like a garlicky tahini sauce from my book for sale over there. ABP always be plugging. And yeah, do like a tahini sauce and vegetables. So I feel like there's a lot you can do with any sweet potato, but I like the Japanese ones the best.
Ooh. What other stuff that's good that's just as good or easy to make at home as opposed to going out? I'll throw one out there, coffee, espresso.
The first thing I thought of was Italian food. I feel like I cannot make really good Mexican food at home no matter how much I try. I can't make it taste like the taco truck, but I find it's pretty easy to make good Italian food. You can go out and get a bowl of pasta for anywhere between $18 and $30, and you could make that at home for so little. Like if penne alla vodka, kind of like that sauce is so easy to make at home, and I think it tastes just as good as a restaurant. Same with like spaghetti and meatballs, or even just like lasagna, making like a big pot of bolognese and doing the bechamel. It would cost less to get all the ingredients for the whole lasagna than you would pay probably for one big slab of it.
I mean, in some cases, I think restaurants, some restaurants benefit a lot from economies of scale. But I mean, the secret, it's not even a secret, but restaurant food costs are generally around 25% of what you're paying. That's what most restaurants budget for. And so when you go out to a restaurant, you're not really paying for the ingredients. You're paying for the rent, you're paying for the service, you're paying for the linens, you're paying for the cleaners, you're paying for the toilet that explodes in the middle of the night. You're paying for all these other things. And so if your goal is just to save money on eating, all you have to do is learn how to cook. And then most things that you get in a restaurant, you're going to get for cheaper. I would say, really, aiming for high margin items, so yeah, pasta, you're going to make much cheaper at home. I think one of the highest margin items is breakfast sandwiches, right? It's like you go to Volunteer Park Cafe and those are amazing breakfast sandwiches, but when you add bacon to them, they end up being like $18, and you do it with a coffee and it's like $21 for coffee and a breakfast sandwich, and you can make that at home for a few dollars, right? But if you do it at home and you practice a little and you learn how to cook, then most things you can make for cheaper than at a restaurant, because at a restaurant you're not paying for the food, really. You're paying for everything else that comes with the restaurant.
I heard if we didn't buy avocado toast, we could all have a home.
Rachel. Okay.
After the break, we move away from Thanksgiving, and Ton conducts the world's slowest lightning round. We talk about our favorite pizzas, our favorite bagels, and Kenji shares his most life-changing sandwich moment.
Let's leave the home kitchen and hit some restaurants. And I love this because people were asking me where to go. So I get to ask you guys. We'll do a lightning round, or maybe a slow lightning round. I'm going to throw a food or a menu item, and you tell me where you would get it, or what's your favorite place. Ready? Bagels.
Hey Bagel.
I would say Hey Bagel or Backyard Bagel.
And Mount Bagel.
Sandwich.
The hoagie from Post Deli Pizza.
That's mine too. That's my favorite
Really?
too. Oh yeah, by far. We're having this trend in Seattle. I feel like we're finally getting these items that people felt we couldn't get here from the East Coast, like good bagels, good pizza.
Oh yeah.
And in the past just year, or even 6 months, so many places have opened doing like Italian-American style hoagies or a lot of focaccia sandwiches.
Right, the focaccia ones.
Yeah.
There's Bottega Gabriele, there's
Fortuna.
Stumbletown, there's Fortuna.
Marcolino's. There's my friend Derek does a really good one now. They just
Never
started
had
on
their
the
sandwiches.
weekends.
Yeah, they do
$12
pizza though. Yeah.
But I think Post Deli is far and away the best.
Yes.
The best one. And you have to get, do you guys know about Hoagie Jazz? Oh, let's tell them.
Do you want to name one ingredient at a time?
Yeah.
All right.
Like an okay, you go first.
All right. There's like pickled chili, like Calabrian chili peppers in it.
Anchovies.
Olive oil.
A lot of
Garlic.
intro.
I think that's it, honestly.
That's it. But yeah, if you ask for Hoagie Jazz on the sandwich, you get this like paste of just umami,
Spicy, fishy.
garlicky. It's so good. And they make their own rolls. They're sesame seed rolls. And it's sharp provolone. I mean, it's a very good sandwich.
And you have to ask for the jazz because that doesn't work without it. Because I know it's very fishy. It's funky. It's basically just umami, but people don't like it. If you don't like it, you should not order this sandwich. When you say, because I don't think it works without it.
I think the sandwich works even without it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love mortadella sandwich. You guys have a favorite?
I haven't been eating them around here. I want to try the one at Bottega Gabriele.
Yeah, I've had the one at Bottega Gabriele. I don't know that I've eaten that many mortadella sandwiches out. They have a great one at Tivoli. It's on focaccia with like a pistachio butter. I make them at home. I usually do them with deli sliced bologna, which I call freedom mortadella. But yeah, we do them at home.
See, one of the reasons why is mortadella is just so popular now, it's really cheap. You only need like 2 or 3 ounce to make a sandwich. You stack it up so it looks real fluffy. So when you get the sandwich, it looks like it's really high. There's a lot of height to it, but it's actually not a lot of meat.
Cooks Illustrated had this article like sometime last year where they said the most important ingredient in a cold cut sandwich is air.
I read that too.
Yeah, I don't agree. I think well, at least an Italian sub should be compressed. Like it should be preferably wrapped and rested so that by the time you get it, it's like one solid thing with no air at all.
Like a burrito, same, like toit.
Yeah.
Anybody? No? Okay.
I like my burritos nice and
That felt
nice
like the
and airy.
longest half second of my life. Like everyone was like,
One of the most life-changing sandwich moments of my life was when I was around 11 years old. My parents and my sisters and I were driving up to upstate New York, and we stopped at a gas station. And my sister ordered a bologna sandwich, white bread, lots of mayo, and then a stack of bologna like an inch and a half thick, but really thinly sliced bologna that was just layered. It's almost like biting into Spam, I guess, but you get this tiny little crack between each layer of bologna. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is...
I can feel the white bread in my molar.
Yeah. This is what
good.
Sandwich dreams are made of.
I said it was a lightning round, but I didn't say it was a fast. All right. Next one, best whole pizza.
I really like Lupo in Fremont.
Lupo's great.
It's so good. They do a thin crust, Napoli style, and their crust is so chewy and like the perfect char. And I love the atmosphere in there. I love Lupo.
All right, so for Neapolitan, Lupo's great. I would say Bar del Corso or Lupo are great. For like a sort of modern Neapolitan style, the Independent over by like Washington and Montlake, or is it
Madison?
Madison, yeah. For Detroit style, my friend Derek's. For New York style, AK Pizza that just opened in Othello, Alex Kim, he learned how to make pizza during the pandemic, and then he opened his own place. But I think AK Pizza is like the best world-class New York style. It's sort of modern New York, New Haven-ish, East Coast style pizza, but it's really, really special.
But it's hard to get because it's like Moto was when Moto opened. Like you have to sign up 2 days before and you have to click. So I've heard that it's hard to get that pizza.
That's an understatement. It's impossible to get.
Yeah.
Let's see. As we're recording this is November. I would wait till March 2027.
Oh,
maybe?
Well, all you have to do is text Alex.
it's like the Enchantments lottery trying to get this pizza.
You know what? Another one. Actually, I went with you, and that is we went to Ben's Bread for the pizza pop-up. Has anyone been here? I'm curious. Ben's Bread. It's one of the most popular pizzas in Seattle.
I loved it.
Yes, that's right. We went to get on this. And it starts on Wednesday at 5:30. And here's the thing. It sells out by 6:30. Rachel, I didn't tell you this because I met Rachel at Ben's Bread, and I don't think I ever told you this story. I'm always punctual, so I was there at 4:30. You have to get in line. What I did was I stopped by Holy Mountain, had a beer at 3. Next you know, it's 5:15. I'm thinking, I got 15 minutes. I don't see a line. And I walked around. Holy cow. I was scared. I never told you this. I was scared I really messed up and it was going to be sold out. Yes. And here's how they do it at Ben's Bread. It's sort of like Franklin's Barbecue. There's only so many pizza at Ben's Bread. And the line is 2 blocks long. I'm not exaggerating. It's at least 2 blocks long. So someone will walk along the line and take a notebook pad, I'm trying to remember, and ask you how many pizzas you want. She goes down the line, and at some point, she'll go, I'm sorry, we're sold out of pizza.
The trick is to be first and order all the pizzas and then resell them. I'm not done. For Chicago style pan pizza and Chicago thin crust, Windy City. Best Chicago style pizzas I've had outside of Chicago.
I also like Sunny Hill for Detroit style in North Ballard.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do like a sort of hybrid focaccia-ish, sourdough-ish, semi-Detroit
But you
style.
get the crispy cheese walls.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's unique.
Ooh, and they have the good pepperoni. I call them pepperoni hot tubs because they're all curled up. Fold. You could just like climb right into the hot grease. Yeah.
Crispy grease chalices.
Yeah.
On with the discussion. Now, pizza slice. Best pizza slice.
I am so excited because Windy City has started on Fridays now doing pizza by the slice, but they're doing this pizza from Breezy Town, which was their other restaurant in Beacon Hill that they closed a long time ago. So that is like a nice Detroit slice. So that's my favorite. I loved Breezy Town, and I was so sad when they closed.
Breezy Town, I think, make the best pepperoni slice.
Yes.
I'm going to go again with Post Alley Pizza. Post Alley Pizza. They really nail it. Both the pizza and the sandwiches there are excellent. It's right on the water. It's like you got friends from out of town. You want to take a walk on the waterfront. You stop by for some pizza. There's a nice place to get your nails done right around the corner. So.
I was surprised you didn't mention this, Kenji, because we talked about this. I would go with the sausage slice at Stevie's. At Stevie's, it's like a chefy take. There's no red sauce. They make their own fennel sausage. It's caramelized onions. It's Mama Lil's pepper. And they use fresh cheese. And it is, I think, the best slice in terms of slice. Sausage slice. You cannot find a better sausage slice. On with our list, the very slow lightning round. What would you recommend for out-of-towners? A restaurant you would recommend for out-of-towns?
I would say it depends on budget, but if you're coming to Seattle, I would say you want to get some shellfish. I mean, either a place like Taylor's Shellfish, which is easy and casual, or like a place like Westward, which is expensive but has like one of the best views in Seattle.
It depends on where people are visiting from based on what they have in their city. But I always tell people to get pho when they're in Seattle if they're not from a pho place, because I consider that one of our local foods because this is a fact, we have more pho restaurants than we have Starbucks in Seattle, which is so cool. And so, getting good pho. And then I really love Brimmer and Heel Tap in Ballard. Their food is so good. And everyone that works there is so warm. And I love the room. And everything on the menu just sounds so basic. And then it comes out and it's fantastic. Like, it just says bread. And I don't always order the bread. And I'm like, where are you getting the bread? And it comes out and it's this big, just giant brick with a knife in it, and you cut it open and it's steaming and it's like so crispy on the outside. It's almost like brioche on the inside. They baste it with butter before it comes out. I mean, oh my God, so good. Same with their crispy potatoes. Like, they're the best crispy potatoes, and it's some kind of like whipped feta on top, which sounds like, oh, you've had that before, but their version is so good. Everything there is delicious.
Takeout for dinner.
The best takeout only experience I've had, and I know people have mixed feelings on ghost kitchens and stuff, but halal smash burger. But it's a delivery only halal smash burger. I think has like one of the best smash burgers in town.
Never heard of it. Nice. I love the poke at 45th Street Stop and Shop in Wallingford.
Yeah.
I think it is the best poke by far in the city. And that used to be, do you guys remember what that used to be before it was there? It was the Erotic Bakery. So there's good energy in there. There's some BDE happening. But so the story was that these people, I think they were in their 20s or their 30s, their dad had retired, but he wanted to open a mini mart, and he begged his kids, like, will you run it with me? And they really didn't want to. But the compromise was, well, we'll run it with you if you let us open a little poke stand inside. And he said, okay. The fish is such good quality. You get so much. I love it. That's my favorite takeout.
Have you guys heard of this Turkish smokehouse called Meat Moot? M-O-O-T?
Meat Moot?
Yeah. It is. It just opened. It's in South Lake Union. I would say it's the hottest restaurant in Seattle now. It's pretty packed. And I get it to go because I don't want to deal with the crowd. And basically what it is, it's, again, the same concept we talked earlier. You get a pound of meat. I would get the lamb shank or lamb ribs or lamb neck. And with that comes like a zillion sides. You get the rice, you get a salad, you have all these.
What kind of cuisine is it?
Turkish, I would
Turkish.
assume. It's smoked meat. They have locations around the world, and I think Seattle they're doing really well. And I say take out because they've been packed, so you might have to take out. What about a place to take a date?
If we're talking first date, I cannot commit to a whole dinner. I may want to leave. So if it's going well after a drink, then I will allow you to order some food and we can stay. I have two places I always go. I love going to, if there was going to be food, I like going to Taco Tuesday at the Tin Hat.
Yeah.
The Tin Hat
is it still
great.
$1?
No, it's $1.69 now.
Blasphemy. And it's the hard taco shell?
Yeah, I call them suburban mom tacos. Yeah, it's the hard shell, and you can get beans, but no, and ground beef, and then, like the shredded cheddar and the shreddis, and that's great. Or I love Hattie's Hat. Hattie's Hat is the place I would be the most sad if it closed in Seattle. It's been open, I think, about 100 years, maybe not under the same name, but yeah, those are my two spots for first dates.
I don't know. We're talking first dates, but
It doesn't have to be first dates.
no. I mean, I like eating cheap places with my kids. I like all those kinds of places. But when I have a date night, it's because I've found a babysitter, or my kids are with their mom and I have time off, and so I like to go somewhere nice. So yeah, I would say in Eastlake, I do like to stay in my neighborhood. So Sushi Kapotamura, I think, is one of the best sushi places. You were talking about Tai Chi earlier. Yeah.
Teriyaki turkey.
Yeah. Sushi Kapotamura is great. Serafina in Eastlake is I think it's the city's oldest Italian restaurant, and they still do a pretty good job. I think there's no restaurant anywhere like Canlis. I haven't been there since the new chef has started, but it's such a unique building, even regardless of the food, just sitting in that room and getting that view, and being in this sort of historic place, I think is really, really special. And you can go and sit at the, if you want to peel out after, if it's not going well, you can go and sit at the counter there sit at the bar, and they have a decent bar menu that you don't have to get the whole, $180 tasting menu or whatever it is now. But
I think we talked about this, Rachel, at some point. First dates for me, it's always a bar, and I always aim for the elbow. You always want to be, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what I find is Zigzag, Lower Sonic.
Zigzag, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And you want the corner bar, so that way, if I'm sitting here,
you can touch knees.
That's right.
That's why I like to be on the corner.
Here, so you're making eye contact. And plus, at a great place like Lower Sun, which is a great dinner place, I think you get better service when you go to hot restaurants because your server is right there. He's your damn bartender. Mm-hmm. He's standing right there to take your order. So yes, my thing is Lower Sun, but really any bar. Actually, I had a date at the Tin Hat.
How'd it go?
Ago. I enjoyed the tacos.
Zigzag on a Sunday night when there's live jazz. That way, if the conversation's not going well, there's something to distract you also.
Sorry, this slow lightning round. Ingredients, condiments in a restaurant.
Favorite condiment in a restaurant?
On the table or?
Table?
Anything but Tabasco. I just don't like it. And I don't know. I always want there to be Mexican hot sauce or some kind of Asian hot sauce or something smoky. And when you ask for hot sauce and they put the Tabasco, my heart just sinks. So a good hot sauce.
For me, I love a salsa bar. I love a salsa bar when there's 5 or 6 different types of salsa, and there's pickled onions and jalapenos and any condiment that comes with a ladle is my my kind of condiment. Yeah.
Let's go to downtown. Restaurants are struggling. They need a little help. So I want to ask you two, if you were to have a job downtown, an office job, what restaurant or what dish would motivate you to actually go to the office every day?
When I was in elementary school, I just wanted to eat at the Sizzler all the time. And so to this day, I love salad bars, and they're so 80s, and I feel like you can hardly ever find them anymore. There was a place, there was Fresh Choice. I grew up in California, Northern California. There was Fresh Choice, and there was Sweet Tomatoes, and it was those massive salad bars where you could also have a pasta bar and a taco bar and soft serve ice cream. But the salad bar went on and on for miles, and I just like being able to pick what I want, pick and choose. So it's kind of I guess, going to the hot bar at Whole Foods, but you can, one hard-boiled egg and you have to take out a loan. So I think having a salad bar, I would love it. Little scoop of cottage cheese. It's the 80s. Sunflower seeds. Yeah.
If you can buy a single bag of Fritos at 7-Eleven and get unlimited chili and cheese if you want.
Really?
Out of a machine that you push a button on you.
It comes with it for free?
The chili and cheese at 7-Eleven is free, yeah.
Wow. I didn't know.
News you can use. anything that stands out for you that if you had an office job?
I mean, I don't think the problem with downtown is a shortage of good places to eat. There's excellent like sandwiches. There's a lot of good lunch options down there. It's just a shortage of places to work. If workers suddenly came back to downtown and I was going to open a place, I mean, it would probably just be like a good sandwich shop or a place where you can get like an inexpensive a roast chicken dinner, like a fancy Boston market,
I was going to say, you want Kenny Rogers Roasters to come back.
Oh, I missed that. Kenny Rogers.
The other ththing I would like, just in general, is an onigiri place that makes them as good as 7-Eleven in Japan. Oh my God. I ate like hundreds of them when I lived in Japan, and I make them at home, but it's never quite the same. But yeah, I would love like an all onigiri little cafe.
Do you know about the concept of a third place? The idea is that your first place is home, your second place is work, which isn't quite the same for many since the pandemic, and your third place is where you spend the third most amount of time. It's your cheers. It's the place where you're a regular. And we're going to talk all about third places after the break.
Of course, eating is not just about taste. It's all about the ambiance and the experience and the people. So I want to talk about the third place. And that could be a restaurant, a brewery, a coffee shop. So for you guys, how do you guys like to hang in terms of a place away from home or work? Is there a favorite third place for you?
I'm someone who really enjoys solo dining at a bar. One of the reasons I love Seattle, I grew up and lived in New York for a long time, and I find New York is a place it's really difficult. In some neighborhoods you can, but it's difficult to become a regular somewhere because there's so many things to do and see and new places to try all the time. Whereas there's everything here, but there's not so much that I feel overwhelmed all the time. So for me, it's really a third place is the kind of place you can go and get to know the people who work there, feel comfortable talking to the person sitting next to you. There's a few places, in East Lake now. I go down to the zoo, which is the
you were going to say that.
Yeah. They have a good non-alcoholic beer selection there now, and everybody. I like to go to like a Cheers type place where everybody knows your name. I like to like once every other month or so, I'll go and sit at the bar at the Met. The Metropolitan Grill, and like that's my like steak night, and I'll bring my computer and I'll sit there and work there, and I'll talk to the bartenders who all know what I want.
Good burger.
They do have a good burger there. Yeah.
I don't really have a third place anymore that's a restaurant or a bar. For those who don't know, the concept of third place, first is usually your home, second's usually your work. So it's like the third place where you hang out the most. Mine is Green Lake. I'm always at Green Lake. I work out there 4 days a week, yoga there, walking there. But when it comes to food, I was thinking about it. It's actually one of my best friends who's here tonight. My third place is Jessica Assetti's house. Because I read a lot of Babysitters Club books growing up. And I always wanted to have a Babysitters Club, and I didn't. So now that I'm an adult, I have a lot of clubs that my friends and I make up. So we have something called Country Club, and we've done it for 6 years, once a month. We're cooking from every country in the world in alphabetical order. And it's taken us 6 years. We just got to the G's, and we meet every month. And we usually do it at Jess's house. And then we have our craft club every third Monday. And we all bring a dish on a theme. And we just do a lot of things with groups of friends where we eat together, and it's often at her house and she has a pool. So in the summer we do pool parties. So I think that my third place is Jessica Assetti's house.
I think it's very Seattle to have a third place where you don't have to see people you don't know.
That's the thing, though. I'm so extroverted and I like meeting people. And sometimes I'm like, we're just insulated in there yet.
I told you, she doesn't drink coffee. She's like this all the time. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Kenji, you would love this. In my neighborhood, Standard Brewing, I hang out there, and I know you've been there before. Mm-hmm. They have really good food. And the lady that works there, she does Colombian food.
Okay.
Yes.
Tomorrow's Mahjong night at Jessica Assetti's. Everyone bring a dish. I wish I was kidding.
Is she here?
Yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, you know who she is. She's in like half of my pictures.
Questions. We have lots of questions that people had asked and written in. I want to ask some of them. One is South End. We talk so much about the rest of the city, but what about South King County? Renton, Berrien, further away. I have some suggestions, but any favorites down there?
I actually Googled to see what was all in South King County, and Vashon is included in it. And there's a really good pizza place called Lunetta that is wood-fired. It's so good. And then the other day I was on Tom Douglas's radio show, and there was somebody there who has a macaron business in Renton. And I can't remember what it's called, but they've been there for a long time. And it was the best macaron I'd ever had. So just Google what... Macadon. It wasn't too sweet, and I had a passion fruit one, and it was like so tart. It was very good. And then also there's this really good like small family-owned place in Auburn called the Dairy Queen. The peanut butter parfait, like when you're coming back, it's a perfect food. I do a lot of hiking, and I end up coming back through Auburn a lot, like coming back from Mount Rainier and having a peanut butter parfait. I did the Enchantments like a month ago. It seriously is a perfectly engineered food.
You did Enchantments? Did you win the lottery?
Yeah, my friend did.
Jessica?
No,
Is this Jessica?
That's the one thing we don't have in common, actually. She's not a big hiker like me.
El Cabrito. It's a Mexican place.
Yeah.
They do tlayudas.
In Federal Way, there's a place called Yee's Traditional Korean Beef Noodle Soup. You know what the funny thing is? You would think, like, hey, this is where I'm going to get beef noodle soup. But they make the best Korean pancakes, the seafood pancakes. And it's sort of like a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut. Because the side is all crusty, has like nice, almost like a more...
Very buttery.
Yeah. And it's just fantastic. In Renton, and actually pretty much in the Vietnamese community, the place to be is a place called Pho Hien Gang. It's in Renton. They have a lot of dishes that you would not find at other restaurants. It's very homey. It's very traditional. It's just like dishes that you would only find in Vietnam. So what are you guys looking forward to in terms of food or restaurants?
I've just been thinking about foods that I really love that I don't eat enough of, because I always want to try something new. And then I don't go back enough to places that I do like. And so just in general, I was thinking I want to eat a lot more sushi in 2026. And also, Jessica and I are starting a new club in January. We had a meeting the other day about it. And it's a restaurant club so that we can try more new places. So we made a spreadsheet on Excel. And it's like the lists of the places we want to go, and then the dates, and then slots so people can sign up. So we'll send it out. That's 2026 is a restaurant Excel sheet. Club.
You're real fun at parties, I see. And you're not even joking. You really do have a spreadsheet, don't you?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Seattle.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Seattle Times and KOW for having me. Seattle Eats is hosted by Vinh. It's a production of Seattle Times and KOW, part of the NPR network. Find more episodes of Seattle Eats in the KOW app or wherever you get podcasts. Both Kenji and Ton have been guests on Your Last Meal. If you miss those episodes, find the links in the show notes. Your Last Meal is a product of Seattle's Cascade PBS. Go to cascadepbs.org to become a member. And for as low as $7 a month, you will get on-demand access to all PBS programming. And you will be supporting local public media. This episode was mixed and mastered by senior producer Sarah Bernard. Original theme music by Prom Queen. Make sure you are subscribed to my newsletter. It's called the Nosh Newsletter. It comes out every other week, and you can find a link in the show notes. I'm Rachel Belle. This is Your Last Meal. Happy Thanksgiving.
this is
They're all
real
good.
Nerd fest. I've never seen Star Trek, but I can talk about pasta shapes for a really long time.
Rachel, ham, how do you balance this?
I love that my name is Ham now.